Speaking of lack of demand, so yes, this is the point I'm going to make at the start, and we might reiterate some of it as we go on. But Brian, if you've got 12 7-foot guys, you don't have any giants. If you've got 15 600-pound guys, you got no monsters. I don't know any plainer ways to state that all of these people do all of the same things in all of their matches, and all of the booking is doing the same things over and over in the finishes and or etc. I'm starting to come to a lack of how to clarify that it's just endless, because the only match on this show where any of the heels worked in any way differently, really, than any of the baby faces. It was Bobby Lashley and MJF, and otherwise it's just an all-out attempted murder for 4 hours. And I know people will say, well, that makes it exciting. And I'm not advocating for 15-minute headlocks that these people think in the days of Dick Schickat. You know, maybe they held a headlock for 15 minutes, but you can't just do this over and over, week in, week out, pay-per-view in, pay-per-view out, without having personalities that are over, that people are interested in, that they think are cool and are stars, and having them interact with each other in an interesting way, past constantly either attempting to murder somebody or imagining that you're Johnny Saint, or, you know, one or the other. And again, in this whole thing, a lot of people are going to say, well, they did what you told them to. You say all the matches are multi-man matches, so they had mostly singles. Were they okay? Now, instead of 7 or 8 guys going to the floor and breaking furniture and fighting all over the arena and trying to fucking kill each other and selling nothing, you've just got 2 of them. So that does kind of make it less exciting when you've set up a baseline of, we're going to fucking floor this thing and blow the engine out until we hit the wall. So that's,
you know, I think that's one of the reasons why, and I'm not trying to jump on the review if we're going to get to that right away, but, you know, the match with Big Boom AJ and Big Justice.
Yes.
And the Rizzler. These guys were over with those fans almost as much as any of the AEW people were. And I thought that match was fascinating because, I'm not saying it was good, but I thought it was fascinating. It was good for the room.
Yes.
I thought it was fascinating because you talk about everyone working the same kind of match. Every single match on this show, everyone kicked out of everything. There were multiple matches where it's like, that's the perfect time to go to the finish, and they kept going. And more people just kicked out of anything. Again, all you need to do is lift up your arm. No matter how much you weigh, no matter what you look like, if you could do that, that's it. Just let someone kick you in the face and just lift up your arm every minute. That's all it takes. The Big Boom AJ match was like an indie match. It was like one of those matches on one of those Dennis shows, like, you know, the principal will be in the corner. Or, you know, it was just something that got the place going. So I'm saying it wasn't a technical masterpiece, and it was with modern pseudo-celebrities or whatever. They've made themselves apparently a pretty big following. I don't have any familiarity with them.
I don't have any idea either. I don't know why cookies are involved. I don't know why the Drizzler is. I don't know what this whole Boom thing is. But also, it was their hometown. It wasn't like they're from, you know, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and they just showed up in Newark and were over like crazy. That's their home area, and they got their people to come.
I don't know how much of it's home area, though, because I think they live in Florida, even though they're from Jersey originally, but South Jersey.
Well, point is, I think they had one of the noted Jersey press agents and publicity mongers up there in their corner. I'll tell you that. But no, the point being, they had a match. I wrote down, it's a county fair match. It's basic, and it's like you said, if the high school principal or the local sponsor was either in the corner or in the match, or you were working. I got visions of Lawler working with radio DJs, right? And it worked
Yeah,
because
yeah,
people
exactly.
went there to see this guy. And I don't know how old he is. They said he wrestled 25 years ago. Well, goddamn.
He's got to be in
Did
his
he-
early 50s.
But then, then he didn't. He looks, the thing is, he was bigger than most of the guys on the fucking AEW roster. And it was basic shit. And he hadn't been in the ring in 20 years, but goddamn, he didn't offend anybody with either his appearance or his, but I mean, the kid doing this, I'm never going to go on record as saying 12-year-olds ought to be doing the spear, even if he does have considerable fucking ballast behind it.
Yeah, even if he's bigger than half the roster.
Well, yeah, the kid.
Yeah.
Yes. And, but anyway, otherwise than that, the people like this, and I think they liked Osprey, and what else did they like? Well, we'll go as we go through it, but
that match, that match got the room though, and you know what? It should have been on the main show. If this guy's such a social media celebrity and he got them a bunch of publicity and was able to walk into various places and get on TV to get publicity for this show, why wasn't this on the main card?
I don't, because here, and we'll get to this also, but one of the matches on the card, they should have had that match on TV and then did what they did on TV on pay-per-view. Maybe, I don't fucking know, but in a lot of cases they will fall into something and then back up on it. I don't know if 600,000 people watch the Wednesday night program these days, and they're probably selling what now? Is it 100,000 pay-per-views? Old Bleacher Report went out of business or whatever happened there.
According to AEW, again, we've never had any concrete pay-per-view numbers, and I have reason to think they've maybe been inflated at times.
Well, but many have come from Uncle Dave himself.
And he doesn't have concrete now. Again, even Dave says, he gets estimates from...
Well, no, he has sources that he believes highly.
They give him estimates. They don't give him, this is the exact number.
I'm trying to be sarcastic, though. He has sources. He can believe his sources that tell him how great his sources are, but go ahead.
I have something controversial to say.
Yes.
Based on watching this pay-per-view event and seeing the card and knowing the roster and the sorry state of things, and also knowing that you need to do things different, and sometimes you need energy on these shows. You can't just have fans sitting there. You can hear everyone farting because everyone's so quiet. I think give Big Boom AJ a Tim Storm-style run at the AEW Championship and let him go over Moxley. Let that be the end of the Moxley shit. Who would have thought that was coming? Moxley gets speared by a 12-year-old and his dad pins him. And then you get him on TV everywhere. And then he could drop the belt to Bobby Lashley at some point or something, but it'll tell a story that people will get behind.
Hold on. People say I never admit it when I make a mistake. Well, I'm going to admit it right now. I am going to go on record as supporting a 12-year-old spearing a fucking guy if it's Moxley and his dad beats him. I'll go for that.
That's the way you can get around, too. No one could beat up Marina Shafir. What if it's a kid? What if the kid tackles Marina Shafir?
That's true because, okay, a kid fucking underage child of either gender trumps a fucking hitting a female that's an adult.
Right.
Right? Because we've got, with the rules in wrestling are that the heel manager is the weakest of all, and then a babyface manager is still not as strong as a heel wrestler, but he's goddamn better than a heel manager, and on and on. So if a child of either gender attacks an adult woman, it's okay.
If Big Justice saw that Marina Shafir was about to hit his dad with the briefcase or something, and he just ran there and speared her or hit her in the head with a chair, he's a kid. You get away with it until you show some facial hair. Then you're fucked. Then it's like, nah, he looks old enough.
If they could special effect it to where when he went to spear her, his head just went straight up between her legs and his rest of his body sticking out, and she's like a fucking hoisted on his petard right there. That would be fucking hilarious. And then they'd have to call AAA to pull him out of because of the suction.
The kid's as big as Marina and Pac, so then you just have to worry about Claudio. But again, I'm all for it. Get the belt off Moxley.
I think at that point, Claudio just go home.
It's about time. Get the belt off Moxley. None of this is working. Nobody likes the way this is going except one person. And put it on Big Boom AJ and get on Fox News and get on Channel 5 News and get on Twitter and TikTok and everything else. Get everywhere with that. That will get you a different kind of thing as opposed to, hey, it's the WWE's other it's the other WWE. It's the lesser WWE. You don't want that.